State versus Alicia King, 15-64. Ma'am, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And it appears that you're appearing for an arraignment.
That's correct, Your Honor. I've spoken with Alicia this morning. We're going to waive reading of the information, enter a plea of not guilty, and hopefully attempt to resolve this today. If so, we'll recall the case later. Otherwise, if you'll just have it rescheduled for Judge Webb's docket, Judge.
That's right. April 23rd. What time do you start here? 9?
I believe so, Your Honor.
9:30, so okay. Andrew, you might check on that date because it's been written in.
It shows it on his calendar.
Okay,
so
April
that's
23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all we do today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. 15-66, State versus Harold Friend, hot check case. Let's see, sir, do you have a lawyer?
No,
Did you make application to the public defender, or you intend to hire a lawyer?
no, I made an application yesterday.
You made an application. Okay, I don't think it made its way over here. Who did you give it to, sir?
One of the jailers here.
Okay, we'll see if we can get it faxed over here. What do you do for a living?
I'm disabled.
Okay,
Your Honor, if I may, I've represented Mr. Friend in district court, and I know that he will qualify. I'll go ahead and enter my appearance today and waive reading of his information and enter a plea of not guilty on his behalf for the Public Defender's Office.
I'll also schedule him to appear on April 23rd at 9:30 before Judge Webb.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And we'll try to get his application over here. I'll take a look at that. Anything else we need to do?
Not for me, Your Honor.
That's all we can do today, sir. Thank you. 15-65, State versus Aaron Bates. Mr. Bates, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're appearing for an arraignment.
Your Honor, I've discussed these charges with Mr. Bates. He understands them. At this point, we'll waive reading of the information, enter a plea of not guilty, and we'd like to be heard on the issue of bond.
Very well. I'll enter that plea of not guilty. We'll issue a scheduling order. And this is residential burglary, criminal attempt to commit the same, theft of property, fleeing, and what, let's see, what is the bond? Bond's rather high right now. What do you want to say, sir?
Your Honor, Mr. Bates is a 20-year-old lifelong resident of the Mountain Home area. His father, stepmother, and grandmother are all close family members that he's in close contact with. His criminal history is relatively light, with just misdemeanors about a year ago. I think I said he is 20 years old. This would be a first-time felony affidavit filed against him. In reading the affidavit, I would argue, if the facts are to be taken as true for the purposes of bond, that it seems to indicate that Mr. Bates was more or less along for the ride in this situation. We'd ask the court to take that into consideration when determining his bond and make a reasonable amount that he could make.
Your Honor, he's entitled to a reduction. All of what Mr. Bailey said is true, with the exception of the fact that this gentleman is along for the ride. This gentleman was the adult. The other individual was a juvenile who's being heard in Mrs. Evans' court. The problem is this individual is breaking into homes. One of the in the affidavit, he's alleged to have broken into a home and stolen a firearm while a lady, a rather elderly lady, was home, and he only ran out of that home when she thought it was her grandson that was in the home, and she got up and called out to them. So he may not have much of a criminal history, but he has sort of leaped into the big time with reference to breaking into a home with an elderly person and stealing a gun. So that's why that bond is very high.
Let me look over the affidavit. The court takes a residential burglary very serious. That's my opinion. That's one of the worst crimes we deal with, unless there's just violence involved. I'll set the bond at $25,000.
When would you like us back, Your Honor? A scheduling order?
Yeah, we'll send out a scheduling order. I'm not sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
15-61, State versus Kevin Rawson. Mr. Rawson,
Yes, sir.
I looked at your application that you filled out, your affidavit of indigency. Are you working?
No, sir, I'm not.
You're not? Okay.
No, sir. I'm trying to get my disability started, sir.
All right. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you then. This is terroristic threatening and criminal mischief.
Your Honor, at this time, based on our appointment, I'll waive reading of the information and enter a plea of not guilty. Your Honor, there's no further action to take today. I believe the bond is set at $10,000.
Okay, we'll send out a scheduling order. That's all we can do today, sir. Thank you.